Hey friends, welcome back to Simply Home and Harvest, and welcome to our shed, our mess of a mess. I'm actually supposed to be inside right now filming some indoor videos, making some granola and some homemade vanilla extract. But today is the first day in a while that the temperature has been over 50 degrees. The sun was shining, so I got out, took a walk, got the chickens out, and we were in the backyard, and I just started dreaming and came out to our shed and just started planning and thinking, and I'm just sitting out here, and I wondered if you'd like to hear my ideas. So I am actually sitting, you see all the Christmas decorations behind us, in our shed, or you've heard us refer to it as a barn, but basically our outdoor storage. We have not done a very good job in the last 6 months of keeping it neat and tidy. We organized it and got it all cleaned out last spring, and we worked on it some in the summer too, but you know, life happens, things get put back in the wrong place and that sort of thing. But I'm sitting on Tim's side, which he manages to keep his pretty neat and tidy and organized. All this Christmas stuff we just brought in and dumped, but it's going to go up above me on that nice empty loft. Of course, that's going to take his assistance, so that's why it's still sitting here. But I'm thinking of really reworking my side, which I'm getting ready to show you, and turning it into a potting shed, a more workable potting shed. It kind of is that already, but I've been really brainstorming. I have been obsessed and watching all kinds of videos of like potting shed makeovers and things that you can do. And you know, you probably know what the outside of it looks like, which we'll walk out there and I'll show you that here in a minute. But I'm thinking that maybe we can turn this into what I am dreaming of. Okay, so I got the electricity on, or turned the lights on out here. We do have electric out here, so you could get a good shot of it. But this is coming in to the door right here. And then we share this, Tim and I. So from the lawnmower over is his side of things. And then this is my side over here. So we kind of use it, you know, really as storage for all kinds of things. We try to keep this mainly our outdoor storage, like cushions, and there's window screens that need to go back on the windows. And then we keep a lot of seasonal decorations up in the top. But there is a lot of unused space and a lot of reworking that we could do to really make this into the potting shed that I'm envisioning, I think. And so right here, I've already, and it was so organized before, I'm kind of ashamed to even show you this, but maybe you have the same situation going on at your home, so this will help you feel better. And then maybe you are totally organized and you're like, ooh, get your life together. So hopefully this will help somebody. But anyway, this is what my organized space, you know, is supposed to look like. I have the hooks and all that over here. So I had a little bit of organization there for my gardening tools, but you can see that life has just happened. Oh, and another thing is, like, all of our chicken paraphernalia, all that comes in, gets dumped on this side. Their feed, their scratch, extra feed, shavings, all that is stored here. The wheelbarrow, tables. So we would have to rework a lot of that, but like the fencing back there, that can go outside the building. We could probably put the golf club somewhere else. I don't think anyone is using that bicycle. And, you know, just so many things that could probably find another home. We could rework this. This is an old greenhouse shelf that we got at a dumpster in the box, but it didn't have a cover on it. This was years ago. So I used it. We built a cover for it and used it inside for a long time. But right now it just has kind of become just an extra shelf out here. But, you know, we could put our own shelves in. And then we've got storage over here. And then this is a table that Tim built a long time ago. And I've used it kind of as a potting table, cushions, sled, you know, just all the things that need a new place. All those cushions, probably, some of them need to be tossed. And then we had our geraniums over here by the window. So I don't know how good they are going to, how they're going to turn out. But anyway, this is a little bit of a look at what it looks like right now. But anyway, I can see potential. I hope you can too. I was thinking and this might not be doable. Of course, we've got the one window here, and I would keep this bench here, and that would probably become like a work table for me, or I could move it to the back table and then bring in some sort of a, like more of a potting bench right here. I did get a potting tray. I shared that on Instagram. I'm so excited to use that. And this is the space that I would really want to work in because of the window. However, I'm wondering if we could, excuse me, possibly put in a second window on this side back here. I don't know if we could even work that out, and maybe even run water out here and put in a sink. So those are my thoughts. I wish Tim was here so I could run all this by him, that he would probably shoot down a lot of these ideas because we have a lot of other projects that are ahead of this one. So this one would really be me primarily working on it, which I think I could do. Maybe call in some help. And then I was looking up here, and like right in the middle of this beam just is begging for like some sort of a girly light fixture. You know, when we get this place really looking like a potting shed. So that's my vision. I will definitely bring you along if I decide to do that. And I really think I want to. I just think that would be a fun project, and it would get me outside and get us ready for the garden season. Either way, I'm going to have to come out here and do some serious organization. But it would be so neat to have, you know, the girls nearby, the chickens nearby, and, oh, let me show you the outside too. Okay, so here's a backed up look at everything, and, you know, excuse the mess. It's winter. Things look kind of yucky and unproductive right now. But I had thought at one time to maybe like move the swing and we could build some sort of a potting shed here. I also thought about like a greenhouse here. We do have this tree that shades the area, so I don't know how well a greenhouse would do, but that was my original thought. This is kind of flat. We would probably have to, you know, do some grading and all that, put a better foundation there if we were to do something like that. Again, I'm just throwing out ideas right now. We do plan to get rid of like the swing set, the trampoline, because it just doesn't get a lot of use anymore. But then, you know, we've got the garden here, so everything, I want to keep everything kind of in the same location. That beautiful garden, getting all kinds of water. That soil's just soaking it all up this week. So here's a look. Still got our Christmas wreaths on the windows. We'll get to that sooner or later. But the front of our shed, I have been wanting to put up some sort of lattice or something to close off underneath. The chickens like to go under there, especially in the summer. So we would definitely be blocking their entrance in and out of there. But just on the front side, at least, kind of like give this a backdrop and then plant some shrubbery, maybe even extend out like a little patio or something. We have a ramp here because we do have a mower that we have to get in and out. I'd even thought about maybe seeing if we could do like the barn doors, make them sliding so that they wouldn't have to swing open, which would take up a lot of that space. And then I could plant something there in, you know, on either side of the door, and then the doors would slide out. So those are my thoughts. I want to put something on the top, like a little weather vane or something. I don't know. I think that would be cute. And of course, I really have already been thinking about bringing out some sort of a seating, or some sort of seating, maybe even the deck sofa that we have on our deck, bringing that out here. Maybe even expanding out to the side. I don't know, just a lot of possibilities, but this is what it looks like right here from the outside. So we only have the 2 windows. A potting shed really needs some more windows, but we would just make do with what we have. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that's a good idea? You don't care, do ya? Y'all would probably like having the company if I get out here and start working every day. Yeah. So sweet. Little Chicoletta is our last one to molt for the winter, I think. She's starting to get some of her feathers back, but her poor little tail has taken a hit. It's so sad when they do that, but it is part of their life. It doesn't hurt them. Today we got 3 eggs, which is a big deal because we have been getting as little as 1. So 3 was good. Oh, look, got all 10 girls out at the same time. Okay, so y'all cheer me on in this endeavor. We'll see if we can get Tim on board. We have another major project that I may be able to tell you about, which is going to take a lot of our time up. So I don't know. This might be one that, like I said, I have to go alone. But we'll see. We'll see if we can make it work. All right, let's go inside and do something indoors. Maybe make some homemade vanilla. I really want to make some homemade granola stuff. Maybe we'll knock those 2 things out today. It's so hard to come inside on such a beautiful afternoon, but we are at the end of our sunlight for today because it is a little bit after 4. In an hour we won't have any sunlight at all. So it's time to probably come on in anyway and get some projects knocked out inside. So let's see. We will make some homemade vanilla. How about that? All right, so this is not our first time making homemade vanilla extract. If you were with me last August, well, August of 22, you'll remember that we made some homemade vanilla and we went through the first jar. I left the vanilla beans in the bottom of it because I've actually seen people just go ahead and pour their alcohol source. Ooh, it's leaking a little bit. That's not good. Into their jar of their remaining vanilla beans, and it just, you know, it starts the process over again because the vanilla beans still have some flavoring in them. However, I don't know if I want to do that. I may just want to go ahead and start a fresh batch. Oh, and this is how much we have left from that original batch. So you pretty much start it, and then you have to leave it in a dark place. You shake it once a week, and you do that for about 4 to 6 months. You can use it at the 4-month point, but it really doesn't get that good vanilla flavoring until about month 6. So you need an alcohol source and you need some vanilla beans. I ordered these off Amazon. These are the same ones that I ordered the last time. It's a set of 10 Madagascar vanilla beans. And then you need an alcohol source. A lot of people use vodka, rum. I used the spice rum last time, and that's what I'm going to use again today. I know people that use the vodka, and I just liked the way this one turned out, and I thought I would just do that again. I had watched a video, someone used the spice rum, and I liked that it already had that spice flavor that was kind of already started, and it is delicious vanilla flavoring. Of course, you know, all the alcohol cooks out of your baked goods. You don't really use vanilla in much of anything unless it's something that you cook. So it all cooks out. We don't drink alcohol in our house, so I really don't know what this would taste like on its own. It'd probably be really strong. And so we're not going to go that route. We're just going to use it to make the vanilla extract. And it's a very easy process. But like I said, you have to be patient because it does take a good 4 to 6 months before you can enjoy it to its fullest potential, which is why I want to go ahead and get started since we have this much left of our original batch. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to split all of these vanilla beans open. And I did cut them in half just because I want them to fit into our pint-sized jars. And I knew they wouldn't otherwise. So you can see I'm just splitting them open, and that's where all those vanilla beans live. They're on the inside. So when you split that open, that allows the vanilla bean to start infusing the alcohol. This is so much better for you than the imitation vanilla extract and pure vanilla. The price has just gone up a lot. Of course, the price of this has gone up a lot. So I kind of just based it on the fact that we really enjoyed having the pure vanilla and the flavoring, and you know, went off that. Okay, we'll finish getting all this done. just wanted to say that I did finally switch to a much safer cutting method. I'm sure seeing me cut with that knife was probably really scaring a lot of y'all, and it really was hard for me to watch while I'm editing this because, you know, you don't think about things, you're just trying to get the job done, and probably should have taken the time to be a little bit safer with this method. But once I got all of those vanilla beans split, then I went ahead and put them in the mason jars. So it was about 5 of those half size vanilla beans per pint jar. And then I filled each jar just below the rim with the rum, and we ended up with about 2.5 pints. All right, we've got them all marked with today's date, and we will find a nice dark cabinet to place these in. Like I said, every week, I used to do it like on Sunday night. I would just remember that every Sunday night to take it out of the cabinet, shake it up a little bit, and then put it back in there. And I did shake one earlier. Here, we'll just do that. Make sure that our top is all good and secure. Popped a little bit on us. And I wanted to show you that already you could see the little vanilla beans floating. I don't know if you can really see that. It's hard to pick it up in the camera, maybe a little bit. Already the vanilla beans are infusing the rum, but you know, the more you shake it and over time, it will completely infuse it, and you will have homemade vanilla extract. So easy, so delicious. Hey friends, well, it's been a few days since we were making that homemade vanilla. And I was in the pantry looking for some brown sugar because I do have some videos coming up where I needed some brown sugar, and realized that my brown sugar was getting a little low over the Christmas holiday. I decided to try making my own brown sugar using just regular white sugar and molasses, and I loved the taste and the texture of the homemade brown sugar. That's something I had never done prior. So seeing that it's getting empty, I thought I would bring you along and show you how easy it is to make your own brown sugar. I also thought I would show you what my pantry looks like. You'll remember, I believe last year, we worked on organizing the pantry, and I'll try to link that video for you down below if you're interested in that. Just a small linen closet that I turned into an upstairs pantry. We've got our food storage downstairs, but we have our working daily pantry upstairs near our kitchen. And so it's gotten a little, you know, disorganized over Christmas and just the holiday rush and just not being disciplined to put things back exactly where they go. That's okay. Isn't that life? Doesn't that happen to everyone? Please tell me it happens to everyone, because I'll feel really bad if it's just me. But I've got little things like that I want to work on, you know, with the beginning of a new year, just kind of a fresh start, being inside more. Like today, the high, I think it's going to make it to 34 today. Our overnight low was somewhere in the teens. The wind chill made it feel like it was 6 degrees. So I don't really want to go outside today. And so I'm going to try to tackle some of those indoor projects. But I really don't have a lot of deep cleaning out organizational things to do, because we did a lot of that last year, if you remember, at the first of the year. But I do have some like, okay, let's go back to the space, reorganize it a little bit, get it back to the way that it was, because it does just get out of hand with real life. So that's what we're gonna do today. First, let me give you a peek of this pantry. We'll make that brown sugar, and then maybe I can give you an after once I've gotten it reorganized. Okay, so this is at the corner of the hall, like the end of the hallway, right near bedrooms. So it's really hard to kind of get in here to video for you, but you can see, if I can find the before picture, I will show you. It did not look like this. So things have made their way up from downstairs, and they've just gotten kind of like popped in whatever space we could find. And then this is our over-the-door organizer that we bought when we did our project the first time. I keep my spices in it, and it did have like kind of a little bit more of an organization to it. So you can see it just needs some reworking, some tidying up. But first, I'm going to grab this molasses so that we can tackle that brown sugar. And so I'm sure that you could use a hand mixer to mix up the brown sugar. You maybe could even use a spoon. It might take you a little bit longer, but our stand mixer is sitting out, so I'm going to go ahead and use it. Now, last time I just used regular white sugar, and this molasses. I don't think you need to use any particular brand of molasses. This is just what I found at our store. And so this is an unsulfured molasses. And then instead of the white sugar, I am going to use some pure cane sugar. I had recently picked up this bag, had a little bit left in it, and I thought I would just go ahead and use this to make our brown sugar. Plus, this is a very fine sugar, and I think that's just going to help this come together a little bit better. But white sugar is definitely good to use, and really that's what we used the first time I made it anyway. Now, the typical rule is 1 tablespoon of molasses per cup of sugar. And if y'all weren't hanging out with me today, I would totally just eyeball this. But to make sure that we do this right, I am going to go ahead and measure this out. I did spray my cup with a little bit of nonstick spray so that we can get the molasses out. And I'm just going to pour in 4 tablespoons. Boy, does that roll out quickly. Of molasses into our measuring cup. And then, of course, we will just measure out 4 cups of our pure cane sugar. I figured that would get us, that gets us almost 3 cups. So we'll just finish it off with what we have here in our pantry. And then what you can do with the consistency is if you feel like it needs to be a darker brown sugar, you can add in more molasses. If you want it to make it lighter, add in more sugar, that sort of thing. So we're just going to start it out like this. Go ahead and get our machine going. Probably gonna take a couple minutes. All right, so it's been going for a couple of minutes. I'm gonna stop the machine and just scrape the sides down. Now, I do prefer a light brown sugar. I know a lot of people like the dark brown sugar, but whenever I go to the store to buy brown sugar, I just always pick up the light brown. So you do it to your preference. If you're someone that likes the dark brown sugar, then you can always just add in more molasses. I think this is going to be perfect for what we need it for. And the only time I really see a lot of dark brown sugar, like I made a gingerbread cake at Christmas, that one called for dark brown sugar, but I used what I had on hand, which was a lighter brown sugar, and it was fine without it. So definitely, I think, more of a preference thing. All right, let's let that continue to mix. Now, while our brown sugar is coming together, let's take this time to go ahead and get the pantry cleaned out. It was just such a good feeling to do this project, and it's not perfect, of course, because we do use it every day, and so we have to take the time really to and make an effort to put things back where they go, and sometimes things do wander into the pantry that aren't supposed to be there. But for the most part, when you have everything in its place, it tends to stay that way. So to me, an organized home is just so much better functioning, especially for our family. Now, if we all can just stay disciplined and keep it this way, fingers crossed. All right, so here's our finished product. And I just went ahead and took the spatula and just scraped the sides down, and then continued to stir everything, all that molasses into the sugar, and it smells so good. I mean, your store-bought brown sugar does not smell like this. By the time it makes its way through the manufacturing into the bag and to your house, it has really lost just about all of its molasses flavor and scent. So this is just, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I'm really enjoying this process. I don't know that I will ever buy the bagged brown sugar again. If I can keep making it like this, I'm definitely going to. And I just love being able to make those products at home, those convenience items that we buy in the store, you know, just being able to make them at home with 2 simple ingredients. And who knew? Molasses and white sugar. All right, so there's a look at our brown sugar. Got it all back in its storage container, ready to go back into the pantry. So we're gonna go ahead and get it organized. And as I go, I'm going to refill any canisters or anything that may be getting empty. Most of that I keep in our food storage downstairs, so I'll just run down there, get what I need, and then we'll go ahead and fill our containers up. You guys, it feels so good to get that project tackled and done. The pantry is finally organized. Everything is mostly restocked. I did have to put on my grocery list a couple items that we are out of and get those restocked because, you know, we are cooking a lot right now being winter, and all those comfort foods we need just a good stockpile of inventory so we don't have to run out in this cold weather to the grocery store. Nothing frustrates me more than to run out of an item that really I should have in my house in the middle of a recipe. And I haven't done that in a long time after utilizing this system where we've got, you know, the items that we need and that we use on a regular basis already stockpiled and ready to go. So if you've missed those videos, I'm going to try to link as many as I can in the description box below, but definitely go back and check that playlist on home organization so that you can see our system and how we manage to keep a pretty good stockpile of the inventory that we use on a regular basis. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. You learned a few things. We got big plans. I don't know that they'll all, you know, happen this year. I do love to dream. January is such a great month to just sit back, relax. You're not as busy. You're indoors, and it's just a time where you can plan and dream about your garden and all the things you want to do outside so that when that warm weather does finally arrive, you have a plan and you're ready to get started on growing that garden and all the things that you want to do outside. So hopefully you gain some inspiration though, and you're able to make your own homemade vanilla and your own homemade brown sugar. Definitely want to do this. This one is something that is so easy. You've probably already got the ingredients on hand for this. Won't cost you hardly anything. In fact, it's much cheaper to make your own because of the little bit of molasses that you actually use. It's much cheaper to do it this way. So definitely try that. If you haven't already, I'd love for you to stick around and join me here on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. And until next time, remember to live simply, use what you have, and enjoy the moments you've been given. And I will see you all in the next one.